I mean, overall thoughts, it seemed like you guys actually had a pretty decent start to the first period there and were able to kind of get back in the game later after you got down.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the game. At 5-on-5, they had their top guys in their power play, moved it well. So they did some damage there. But 5-on-5, really liked our game. And, I mean, up and down the lineup for us. A lot of young kids played and did a good job.
Were there any individuals that stood out, some of the young players that you were, maybe curious to see the way they were going to perform?
Well, the first thing that jumps out at you, and I know there's not much fighting left in hockey, but the first thing that jumps out at you is two guys who are new to our organization, and they're dropping the gloves. That jumps out at you right away. So right away you get a check mark for that. And then I thought, Malata ends up scoring. Stadnika had 2 or 3 chances after that. So not that I want to, critique everybody and rank everybody, but those 2 players for me made an impression.
I feel like because you didn't have much familiarity with those guys, is that why it's important for you to see them do something and stick out like that, especially with a new player in the organization?
All right. Well, I mean, Malat and Hellenius went at it in camp, and Stadnika skated well in camp. So you're just looking for guys, whoever they are, in your organization prior or not, who are trying to make the hockey team. And when you see that and you follow it up with the way they played, you think those are a couple guys that are trying to make the hockey team.
When you look at a couple of different guys like Alex Turcotte, Akil Thomas, Brant Clark, guys that now for the first time are kind of expected to make the team out of camp. What did you think about the way that Clark played on a top pairing tonight? Akil and Turk, led the line tonight among the forward group.
Yeah, no. Again, 5-on-5, I thought everybody was really solid. So there's no. I don't want to critique people's games, and this guy was really good. And outside of those 2 guys, which is the impression that they're making on the organization, you can always do more. Right? You can play well, you can do more. And those guys showed that they wanted to do more.
What was your take on the things that you've been able to work on a couple of days in training camp, some of the things that you've tried to change?
Well, I mean, the obvious one is the neutral zone, and I thought that got better as the game went along. I thought our neutral zone in the third period was really good. We executed quite well. We liked that. We liked some of our breakouts. The rest of the stuff was hard work, and, they had a pretty good lineup in there, so you've got to adjust to the speed of, top-tier NHL players. So our guys did that. But the 2 areas I would say is the neutral zone and the breakouts from the neutral zone.
Really all week, it seemed like the team was talking about how this was probably the most physical training camp they've been a part of. And at least for this group, how do you think that camp so far had translated into the first real game action?
Oh, I thought it carried over right away. I mean, I thought we were on them, forechecked them early, like you guys mentioned. The first period, probably our best. And then there's a couple fights. So that seemed to me to come right over, and there was good intensity right till the end.
When you look at your team at 5-on-3 and you have a situation where you got to get 5 guys out there, end up putting 5 guys who are really familiar with each other last year in Ontario, what was that kind of decision like, and to see those guys and probably have some good familiarity?
Yeah, right. Well, Newell Brown puts all that stuff together, and so, he talked to those guys and made sure that, we know Clark's at the top, and Fajimo was on his one-timer, and Hudon. So we watched the organization, too, and they had a great year on the power play last year. So that made it pretty easy for tonight.
And obviously, the goal didn't come from those guys, but you do get one. How important was it to find one there on the 5-on-3?
It was really important, and I thought part of that was Turk won that face-off on that on the goalie right side. That got that thing started. He gets rewarded in the end, but it was a big face-off, probably the most important part of that.
Face-off seemed to be a big part of the game tonight. Your team did well in that area.
Yeah, we did. Again, and they had some veteran guys. Stenlund's really good. Draws, Hayton, Kerfoot's really good too. So they had some, NHL top face-off men, and no, we did a good job. Just everywhere. You know what I mean? I don't want to go too far with anything, but we were very pleased with the game.
Obviously, 2 young goaltenders too for you tonight. What did you think about seeing those guys in this action?
Again, good. You know what I mean? Not much else to say. They played well. You got Keller and Schmaltz and these guys. That's Michelli. They're not used to guys like that. Those are high-end players, so they did a good job.